Hey guys, it's me, Christina, and I have a review on Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver. This is the second book in the uh, Delirium trilogy by Lauren Oliver, of course. And this is a dystopian series, so if you have not read the first one and don't want to be spoiled, I would not continue. So, bye for now. I really enjoyed it. I wasn't really sure if I was going to because I tried reading this about 3 times and could not get past, like, I don't know, like, probably like 30, 40 pages. But I really enjoyed this one. It was like really interesting because you got a now is happening like right now, then and now. So it was like then before, like what was happening like in the now, and I was like, but I want to know what happens in the then, and then I want to know what happens in the now. So in this one, Lena, of course, has escaped to the wilds, and she's like running and running, and then over, then we find that this girl has like helped her. Her name is Raven, and she's like, I think she's like mid-20s. Um, and I just loved this book because, of course, Lena is going through some things because she has lost Alex, and I was like really just wanting Lena to be happy and like safe, and because she has gone through so much in her life, finding out her mother is still alive, finding out like all these things, and then there's like crazy things happening because they're invalids, so they live in the wilds, and then there's these other crazy people who are scavengers, and they just like want fire and like killing people, and just like I'm like, they're freaking crazy. So, Lena is like living in the wilds with all these people, and she's like still trying to figure out like how it's gonna work and like everything, and she's like helping do things. She cleans, she meets all these people, and I really liked Hunter. He was like a really sweet friend for Lena. There's Raven and Tact, Blue, who, oh my god, I like, Sarah, who is another young girl, Tact and Raven, they were two characters I was not really sure if I was gonna like, and I'm still not really sure about Raven. I think Tact, he just wants like things to go like his way, and like and he like has like this view of things, and Raven does too, and I feel like she's like one way or no way, like she doesn't really think outside of that. And there's Bram and all these other characters that we really don't really know about yet. And but it was really interesting, like you'd like hear something from the then, and then you see like the now, like what is happening. Like they go from, I don't remember, I know they end up going to New York, and they're talking about like places that I actually know of in New York, and like oh god, I can't think of it. It's a it's a place where they have like tons of like conventions, um and I cannot think of it for the life of me. um but there's like the DFA, and like the whole like deliria free, like, first of all, the whole like thing about love being a disease. Love keeps us alive. Love keeps us sane. I think there's different kinds of love. There's like romantic love, of course, and there's family love, and there's being a good person. And I liked some of these characters. So when Lena goes to this DFA like big meeting, and then Tack and Raven are there, and then the scavengers attack, and I was like, what the heck is happening? And then Lena gets taken with Julian, who is the son of Thomas Byman, who is the head of the DFA. And when we first meet Julian, I wasn't like really super sure about him because he had like these diseases when he was a kid, and he wasn't sure because he's tried he was gonna get the cure, but it was like possibility that could kill him, and oh my god, it's so sad. Um, and then like so she's trapped with Julian, and Julian isn't really like sure like about because he's never been really with girls before, and like and he's never really talked to her, and she's posing as a Deliria free girl, and so she has to like be careful around him. And I was like, so the scavengers have taken them, and I'm just like, what the heck is gonna happen? And then they end up talking and kind of like connecting, and I did like their like friendship kind of, and it was like really nice. And but then like you have in the then where like Lena is still going through like stuff with Alex and like all this stuff, and she's like all the and then they have to move, and something really terrible happens. Blue ends up getting really sick and she ends up dying, and I was like crying because even though we didn't really know anything about Blue except that Raven has always taken care of her, and has taken care of her since she was a baby, and I was like, when we learned that, I was just like, oh my god, because she came from one side and took Blue when she was a baby, and she was probably a Deliria baby, and Deliria babies end up like crazy or like distorted, or they have like a certain feature about them. And I just like was so stunned to hear like about that stuff, like you never really hear about that part. And then and then now she's like with Julian, and they're trying to figure out like a way to get out. And then we see in Lena's umbrella that there was a knife that Tack hid there, and which I thought was kind of odd. Oh, and then Julian gets like beaten by these people, and like when you hear about like his father, he's freaking crazy. Like his Julian's older brother was like, he was cured, and then some stuff like happened to him, and then he like went against his father and got shot, and then the father put him in like the basement, and he had like a blood clot and died. And I thought that was freaking crazy because I was just like, these like Deliria free people, like they have no souls, they have no like things that they care about, and all they're doing is like the people in the invalids in the wilds, they call them zombies, and I can see that because like they just like they're kind of like zombies, and it's accurate. So they finally get out of there after Lena has attacked him. This like scavenger guy. Oh, before that, after like Julian gets attacked and stuff, uh um Lena tells him the truth. And I was like, what the hell are you thinking? He's like part of this like DFA crap. And I'm like, I was like so worried he was gonna do something. But I did like Julian. I think he's a really good character, and I like them together. They're really sweet and like together, and then they finally get out and they get in these tunnels and they have people help them. This girl named Coin, I think was her name, and I could not for the life of me remember what the weird guy's name was, but they ended up killing a few scavengers on the way who were trying to attack them, and I just love this book so much. It was so good. there was many things that happened in this book. I was like wondering like what the heck was gonna go at the end, and then I can't remember. So they finally get out of the tunnels and get out. They find a homestead and they stay there for the night. And I knew something was gonna go down. And these like delirium people, like weird people, and like and then this person takes Lena and she's like, "Let me go, let me see your face," and she's like, "No, no, no," and then Raven and Tack show up, and then but they took Julian too, and he's gonna be executed. I was like, what the hell is wrong with these people? And then the father's like okay with letting his kid die. Like, what is wrong with that? Like, I was just like, and then Raven wouldn't help Lena, so she just goes off on her own, which I thought was kind of stupid. But all the things she did, like she jumped on like I think it was a garbage truck maybe. And so Raven and Tact, they end up helping Lena, like, because Raven was in like this like doctor outfit, and Lena is like trying to help Julian, and then Raven kills the father, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, they get out. Lena is like, did you know about my mother? And she's like, what? Raven is like, what? And like, no. And because she had like a tattoo of like her like prison like code, and Raven's like, well, maybe this kid from Portland who, after the bombing happened, like, and it was Alex. I was like, kind of saw that coming, but was still surprised. And I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 out of 5. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Happy reading. Bye, guys.